We are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy.
Dummy. Conspiracy dummy.
Hey, welcome to Conspiracy Dummy, the conspiracy podcast that lost the time traveler's guide to time traveling handbook. I am your host, the McFlyest motherfucker in time, Double D. Joining me on the podcast, we have a young Christian warrior, a dinosaur aficionado, and now inventor of time travel. This mad scientist is gonna put his gigawatt in your flux capacitor. The homie, Dino Rider. What's good, Doc?
I'm good. And for this occasion, I'm Emmett L. Brown. Thanks for the introduction, McFly.
McFly. Yes. So what's good, man? Shit, dude. Gas is getting crazy expensive out there, bro.
I'm telling you, if you have a car, you might as well start riding a horse.
For sure. It's getting crazy, but good. Thank God we use plutonium for our shit, right?
Yep, the DeLorean runs on plutonium.
But we're doing, we time travel many ways.
We know where to get it.
Yeah. We are travelers of time, space, and the unknown. We have no sense of direction. We have lost track of time. Time just changed on us today, as a matter of fact. And we lost our stash. Shit. But of all the stuff that we have lost, we have missed our minds the most. Space madness. So what are your thoughts when it comes to time traveling, bro? What's your thoughts of the concept of time travel?
I'll tell you this one right here, Danny.
Yeah, it's all good.
It's kind of like a subject, when I started researching this, it's maybe that we probably bit more than we can chew. It's a subject that a lot of people is familiar with, but our small brains can't comprehend to explain time.
No, can't fathom
with it. We can try, but even the earliest astronomers to this day, physicists cannot
wrap their head around
they
it.
Always give a cop-out answer.
Oh yeah, for sure. And the concept is like theoretically possible, but practically not likely unless you can travel faster than the speed of light. You know what I mean? We're not talking about 88 miles per hour here. We're talking about ludicrous speed. You know what I mean? That is a concept and maybe how time travel works, But in the sense, we all of us are time travelers in a sense, you know what I mean? Because we are experiencing life in real time. But the concept of time travel is traveling from one point in time to another point in time. Just manipulating it, you know what I mean? And it's a theory, Einstein, is it possible, because Einstein is he had some words on it.
And bear with me, I'm going to get a little bit nerdy on you guys, but as Danny just said,
nerd out.
Einstein with his, for example, light speed, like you just was saying, told us that space and time are parts of one thing. Space-time. Yeah. And that we should be as willing to think about distance in time as we are distance in space. For example, Danny, when someone asks how far is, let's say, Birmingham from London, right?
Yeah.
Our reply would be 2.5 hours. What we mean is that the journey takes that long as an average speed of 50 miles per hour. Mathematically, that statement is equivalent to saying that Birmingham is 125 miles from London.
Yeah.
So what you're saying, yes, mathematics and space plays a big role into
the mechanics of it.
Which is light speed, the speed of light, which is the fastest any signal can travel. So in the theory is that Einstein, we know that space and time is fluid and it's affected by gravity and velocity.
So that's that's the whole, his theory in 1905, the special relativity proposes that time isn't an illusion, right? How you perceive time is not how I perceive time. So like if you're here on Earth, it's going to be different from you than for me from outer space. If I was in outer space, right? Time is not the same for everyone, in that sense. Because in the general relativity, how he explained it is like how gravity, like you said, it kind of warps or affects the fabric of space time. You know what I mean? So it's all theoretical. There's lines of time. If we can somehow bend space, we can bend time, in a sense.
Yeah, and it's kind of complicated to any regular Joe. That it also states that the closer one is to a gravitational field of an object, such as the Earth, for example, the slower time goes. With also slower time in an object has a greater relativistic velocity than another. For example, have you ever heard of the twin experiment?
No, what's that?
I'm pretty sure a lot of kids, even younger kids, probably heard of it.
The twin
The
experiment.
famous twin experiment, when one flies in a rocket to space with near the speed of light and the other twin stays on Earth, upon her return from space, she would have noticed that the twin on Earth has aged more than the one that traveled into space. Future as time for her has more slowly relative than time on Earth. So in other words, if you get close to the speed of light, the faster you go, time slows down. When she returned to Earth, she found out that her twin aged more than her. That is the twin experiment. Somebody came up with this actually, and then it's just a simpler way to explain speed of light and gravitational pull.
Yeah, interesting.
Such as wormholes, and you read about wormholes.
Oh yeah, wormholes, rabbit holes, vortexes, portals, you name it, bro. What we call dimensions, shit, realms.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, we're living within. It's like an enigma wrapped inside of an enigma, bro. You know what I mean? There's layers to this shit. There's levels to this shit.
Right.
So yeah, man. Like, and there's like issues with time travel too. Hold on. Oh shit! No, I left the oven on. Hold on. Yeah, and there's some issues with time travel too, man. Obviously, you know, shit, we lost our handbook, but you know, grandfather paradox. Are you familiar with the grandfather paradox?
No, do explain.
Well, the grandfather paradox is theoretically that if you were to go back in time and killed your grandfather, you know what I mean? The result will end in the non-existence of yourself. Meaning, like, you'll never be able to go back in time to do it. You know what I mean? It just all erases itself. You know what I mean? It wraps. Time can be fucked with, man. You know what I mean? It's not one thing to. You gotta know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying?
Einstein said it. It's fluid.
Yeah, because it goes into chaos theory too. You know what I mean? It's like the butterfly effect. One little thing that you do wrong can like send a ripple effect through time and changing something really drastic. You know what I mean? So, for example. Like, you can't go back in time, bro. You know what I mean? And start, like, fucking with shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if it's just the littlest thing, you step on an ant, that might trigger some effect, like a domino effect.
But think about it. You know, we as, like I mentioned before, we as human beings, some of us, you know, have a limit to our understandings.
Yeah.
You know, and it's always been, what if? What if we were able to go back in time, build a device, a machine, you know, an aircraft that could go back in time. And you would think, you know, with all the technology, you would think, you know, with pop culture, you know, influencing us.
That's all we know, pretty much. Sci-fi, huh?
That you remember watching the Jetsons, right, as a kid.
Yeah.
Oh, by 2010, we'll have flying cars, and it hasn't happened yet. It's something about time travel that humanity is so
obsessed with.
It's
sexy, bro. The whole theory is sexy. You know what I mean? Everybody wants to go back in time and change things. You know what I mean? Or know what's to come. You know what I mean? And like you said it too, like Back to the Future.
Right.
Back to the Future Part 2, like when they go to the future, it's like 2015.
Right.
2015, bro. Like we don't like it's 2022 right now. We don't even have no flying cars. We don't even have flying fucking skateboards.
Can you believe it? That movie right there was made in 1985.
Yeah.
And can 85. You believe it? It was ahead of its
First
time.
One. Yeah.
The second part where you're right. They have to go into the future, 2015, and they have flying cars.
Yeah.
That scene, you know, it's so like inspiring from people from 1980s and on, and so optimistic into the future. It's so exciting as humans, if you were living in that era, you know, to think, wow, this could be possible.
Yeah.
This could be possible. And to have a badass DeLorean be the time machine, it just grabs everybody's attention and imagination as kids, you know.
Yeah.
Fucking badass DeLorean blasting off 80 miles an hour.
Yeah.
You know, that's like the coolest concept of a time machine.
Roads, where we're going, we don't need roads. Yeah, yeah, it's just DeLorean's one of the best fucking time machines, I guess. Best concept, yeah. You know, we had a phone booth, you had the TARDIS, which is Doctor Who. It's kind of like looks like a phone booth, you know what I mean? You have a hot tub. You know what I mean? That's probably another dope
but not like the DeLorean. With the DeLorean, you burn ass, bro.
Yeah. Or you have green intergalactic wormholes like Rick and Morty. And then, you know, Dad, think about time travel. Like the Terminator is like a big ball, like an orb or something, right? Being sent back from Skynet. You know what I mean? And you think about the future, you might have some robotics, like an army or military of like sentinels or like these, you know, like
it plays into the relativity theory of Einstein.
Yeah.
You know, like he says, portals, wormholes, you know, gravitational pull. That where the it bends. You know, where it bends, that's where it's possible to time travel.
Yeah.
So, you know, they played into it. Terminator 2 is a good one, too.
The Simpsons, they came up with the Higgs boson before the...
Yeah, Skynet, you know, Skynet with that scene with the cyborgs and all that technology,
X-Men,
you know, it's so advanced.
X-Men's all about, like, time travel. Not Marvel and DC, they're bringing that into that shit, too. Now with the multiverse or the Flashpoint paradox, you know.
So if anybody have not seen the younger generation's Terminator 2, check it out. It's a badass movie. It's
one of the best movies, like of action.
It has future concepts. It has time travel into the future. Badass actor Schwarzenegger. Who doesn't like Schwarzenegger? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got the actress who plays Sarah Connor, a badass female playing that role.
Yeah.
I recommend it. Highly recommend it.
Oh, yeah, me too, man. That's a great movie. What about... Like, if you had a time machine, bro, what time and where would you go in history or throughout time, I guess, yeah.
I would actually, it wouldn't even be the whole concept of time. You know, like, you know me, paleontology is deep in my heart, right?
Yeah.
And to me as a young,
you'll go back to where the dinosaurs were. Like
hell yeah. I'll be in the back of a damn Velociraptor like a effing 1985 Dino Rider, bro, blasting shit. But I'll be in the back.
You'll be bumping with your hydraulics. You're making the
switches. It'd be me in a Velociraptor, you know, racing hell. Even if it was possible, just all jokes aside.
Yeah.
If it was, to see these animals to me would be like, wow. Because there are nature's special effects, you might call it. That's how Spielberg, when he was making Jurassic Park, he said, dinosaurs are nature's special effects. We know that they were real and they're monsters, but nature itself, evolution, produced these monsters. And what better, you know, villain, whatever Tyrannosaur that you could think of, Velociraptor.
Monster.
That's a real monster. It would be such a sight for me to travel back to the late Cretaceous, you know, to old Western North America and see a Velociraptor, you know, just slashing and killing a poor plant eater. Like
it has to be like, yeah, man. Like, I think I would definitely go back in around that era too. You want to see things earlier, definitely dinosaurs. You know what I mean? Or what about the crucifixion? What about like that? If you could have stopped that, you know what I mean?
Right. That would be another one playing into my, you know, the way I think of stuff. You know me as being a religious person.
How scary those times would be, huh?
I would have stopped the Romans crucifying Jesus.
What would happen with that butterfly effect? Like, what happens if you didn't, like, you messed that up? And
But you know, that's a subject for another.
Yeah. You don't even want to go there. Your mind just blew up. Huh?
Because, you know, it was meant to happen, actually, for salvation of humanity, if it had to happen. But, you know, it was, to read about it, it was, another one would be the Holocaust with the Hitler and how he killed the descendants of Jesus.
Yeah.
To stop all that madness and to prevent all these innocent people from dying horribly, I would actually stop those events if I had a time machine. I would actually stop that.
I was gonna ask too, like that. That was gonna be one of the questions later. But if you had to go back in time to like kill baby Hitler, how would you do it?
Well, baby Hitler was innocent at that time. When he was in the womb, he wasn't thinking of killing millions of folks.
So how would you stop it though? Would you like
the parents?
Would you like drop him on his head, or would you like shake him or some shit?
That sounds bad.
Would you would you like take him to the future and clone him and
maybe
make like
talk to the guy,
Hitlers,
you know, talk to the guy as a young lad and tell him, you know what, you really, you know, that hatred, because
we're talking about baby Hitler. So you're gonna have to kidnap baby Hitler.
Oh, you talking about
raise him?
Oh, I'm talking about when he starts comprehending.
But what happens? It's too late. What happens? Like he's already like a Damien
you
child.
can always talk to somebody and change. You know, like try to help somebody out.
He is one of those figures you would want to go back in time and like fuck up.
What the
you know what I mean?
Is wrong with you, man?
Yeah, like slap some sense in
right.
This. Yeah.
But yeah, you know, that will be another occasion where I would think, man, let's go back in time and change that horrible experience of these people had to go through.
For sure, man. You know what I mean? Yeah. But like, you know, like Stephen Hawking, he's another one of these dudes, right? He mentioned in this book, The Black Holes and Baby Universes, that the best evidence that we have that time travel is not possible and it will never happen is that we have not been invaded by hordes of tourists from the future. You know what I mean? But like, dude, I think that's fucking wrong. Like, think about it. Well, maybe in a way he's right, but there's no visitation right now. Maybe some people claim, right, there's visitation, like UFOs and stuff like that. But we know, like, ancient aliens, man, people back then, like in ancient texts, even the Bible, they talk about visitations and sightings and stuff like that, dude. So then you would think about it. Right now, I just asked you, if you had a time machine, where would you go? You're not talking about going back last Tuesday or whatever like that. You're talking about going way back. You know what I mean? Deep time, yeah. So you would think that's where every motherfucker's going to be getting visited. You know what I mean? Like back then, they're going to go back then, not now. You do have some sightings, and that's another thing I want to get into. You know what I mean? About do you have anything about Hawkins you want to talk about?
Well, yeah, as you were mentioning, Stephen Hawking's, you know, in his final book, people suggest that time travel may one day be possible. But check it out.
Oh, he flip-flopped.
Yes. Yeah. But check it out. And I quote, and this is the quote. And he says, if one made a research grant application to work on time travel, it would be dismissed immediately. That is saying to me, if you're a smart guy, you can figure this out. He's saying at the present time, no, it's impossible. But, you know, he doesn't disregard it. Brief Answers to Big Questions is his last book. And anybody, I'm actually willing to pick up this book myself because it's interesting.
Yeah.
You know, but he was also optimistic about the possibilities of the way the future technologies is going. So he wasn't really saying, no, it's never going to happen. No, he was optimistic about technology.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Like his thoughts about that, you know, and he was big on like UFOs as well, you know, talking about extraterrestrial life and stuff. But like, and that's why I want to try to tie it in. Like, what if time travel, the time travelers, hence ourselves, you know, in the future are aliens? It's like that's what we're seeing, bro. If you think aliens and like human beings, if they were to evolve in the future, right? I mentioned this before in other podcasts, like how physically how we would look in the future. You know what I mean? We probably will look like those grays that people talk about, right? And we're gonna have some technology where we can travel like that. You know what I mean? Maybe that's what's happening right now. We're visiting these UFO eyewitness accounts. We're actually seeing time travelers. You know what I mean? It's like, it's different names, bro. You think God, angels, UFOs, aliens, time travelers. You know what I mean? It's all the same shit. Okay.
So you're thinking of what could be.
Could be. Theoretically. what's going on.
What if, like, just speaking, what if, like, back in the days, like there was a, let's say, like, how dinosaurs were evolving already.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just a playing, we're just talking, right? Having fun. A race of reptilian humanoids.
Oh, reptilians.
Dinosauroids, that they were so advanced.
Lizard people.
Exactly. And Star Trek, didn't Star Trek have an episode like that?
I think so.
And they go back in time, but think about it, like, reptiles supposedly were first than mammals.
Yeah.
So can you imagine back in those ancient times, a civilization where actually dinosaurs were evolving human features? They were walking on two legs, had arms that had 4 fingers that could manipulate objects.
Yeah.
Their brains were getting bigger. Deinonychus, Velociraptor, these were theropods that were evolving into advanced forms. Can you imagine if the asteroid would not have hit the Yucatan Peninsula, they would have evolved into humanoid. They would have lost their tails. They would have stood more upright. Their brains would have gotten bigger. Their eyes would have gotten bigger. And that would resemble, doesn't that look like an alien to you?
Yeah, well, that's like, in that sense, things evolving. That's what I'm trying to say, too, that how we could.
Now, let me finish. Like, imagine them, they'd be so advanced that they knew that Earth was going to freeze over. That's where the Ice Age come from. Yeah. Reptiles can only live in warm climates, right?
Yeah.
They created a craft or built some kind of crafts and left the Earth before the Ice Age. Now, those are the aliens we see visiting back Earth, because they once lived here, but they knew that the Earth was going to freeze over and they were going to die. So they left the Earth, and mammals took over as they would be more advanced because they were warm-blooded. They could resist the cold. Imagine them being in outer space with their advanced aircrafts, sometimes visiting their once home that they missed. Isn't that like
alien abductions? Maybe they're the ones taking people, because people talk about like time loss. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, have you ever experienced that? Like, you're just chilling, you see the time, it's like 10 o'clock, right? And then you just turn away, look again, and it's like 7. You're like, what the fuck happened?
It's called being a human being with 2 jobs, and in 2022, and falling asleep, tired as hell, and waking up. It's called life. 2022. That's all the time is lost to do work.
I'm telling you, man, we're all time travelers. Are you familiar with the song Iron Man from Black Sabbath?
I've never heard of it.
What, dude? It's a classic, bro.
Iron Man?
Yeah, Iron Man.
Oh, now that it's just the name is not ringing.
Iron Man, Black Sabbath. Yeah, okay. It's a dope song, bro. But that song is cool, man, because it talks about a man who travels into the future to see the apocalypse, right? And he's like, oh, fuck, you know what I mean? He wants to go back and warn people. But so when he travels back, he travels through like this magnetic field, turning him into steel, right? So when he gets back, he's trying to warn people, but he can't communicate with them. Turn into steel, right? And people are like making fun of him, like mocking him and shit like that. So he gets pissed off that he can't convey this message. So he acts out in an act of vengeance, right? Mm-hmm. Causing the apocalypse. Oh, so like he did it to himself and to the world. You know what I mean? That's a story of Iron Man.
That goes to show you. Yeah, it goes to show you that subject of time travel, even, bands from the 60s and 70s were like, I'm pretty sure that's a 60s or 70s band.
Yeah.
So
like Ozzy, yeah.
Even in through music, it's like what's the other one? The Vikings or something. You heard that song? Or the
Led Zeppelin?
Led Zeppelin, the one
Kashmir.
Or something about Vikings invading.
Yeah. Hammer of the Gods.
Yeah. So even through music, the whole concept of time travel is just something that catches everybody's imagination.
Yeah, it's fascinating, bro. It's a very fascinating concept and shit. And
can I just add one thing? We're gonna add a little bit of facts.
Yeah.
Let's get the class a little bit.
We're gonna get into some shit. Right
classes in session. Do you? I'm pretty sure Neil deGrasse Tyson, right?
Yeah.
Well, this guy, I started. I watched a YouTube video right today, and and he's they asked him what is time. And, it's kind of funny that, he's a smart guy.
Yeah.
And he paused, and whenever somebody asks anybody that, they always pause because no one has the right answer. So it's just the way your mind wraps around the subject, right?
Yeah.
But anyways, he says, quotes, "Time is defined to make motion look simple. You cannot describe motion without some reference of time. You define it so that motion is something that we can describe easily with equations or mathematics. A kind of a cop-out answer. But you see, he thinks of time as a prison. Time makes us a prisoner of the present forever, transitioning from our own past to an unknown future." Thus the way he answered. But you know what? The funny part at the end of this interview, which is he has a fun side to him, which is I like.
Yeah.
He says the earliest astronomers invented timekeeping to measure time, right? Mm-hmm. They derived from cosmic rhythms, like they saw the earliest were the planets.
Yeah.
So he was saying that the astronomers were the earliest timekeepers.
Yeah.
But to sum it all up, he says you can keep track of time, quote, but at the end you have no effing idea what's going on.
Oh yeah. Like
that to me is like the perfect. And he says for physicists, that's a cop-out answer, the first part that I just mentioned. Uh-huh. And he's like, we have no effing what's going on. We can
don't.
keep,
We invented time.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just
what is the concept of time? We invented it.
It's an invention of humanity to cope with the answers of the past and the future. Mm-hmm. We can only it's like a cop-out answer, like he was saying, but no physicist to this day, not Hawking, not Einstein, can give a correct answer.
Yeah,
it's an illusion.
It's an illusion.
It's an illusion.
It's kind of like how John Lennon said about pain. It's like how we measure God is by how we measure our pain, and in that sense too, that's how we do with time. You know what I mean? Because we kind of want to like put a label on how long we've been here, how long the planet's been here, how long the universe has been here, right? Just like everything else, we got to make sense of everything.
The
right?
human mind cannot comprehend that. Only the Almighty God can predict time. And he was here from the first day. He is the Alpha and he's the Omega, and he's the one that can really understand. So to me, Danny, it's in the Bible. You know what it says?
Yeah.
And this is a little bit from the religion side.
Yeah.
The answers lie in the skies. In the end of times, there'll be signs in the sky. Astronomers had it correct, and they have it correct. If you want to know the future, look up into the skies, into the heavenly bodies, the sky and the planets.
What does it say in the Bible about time travel? Is there like time travel in the Bible?
Well, there's a story, and not to get too deep into the religious side.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
Obviously you don't, take up time. But there is a story about some apostles that were fixing to get crucified back in those days, by some with the Egyptians. You know how they didn't like the way
they were time travel. Well, they thought time travel as well.
They says there was a story that 12, probably like around more than that they fell asleep into the cave that they were being kept captive before they were going to be killed. Yeah. And they say they all fell into this deep sleep. Uh-huh. And they say that they woke up like 70 years later. And then this story, dude, I wish I would have had more time to explain it, but there are stories in the Bible that says that about time travel and about lights from the heavens coming down to earth.
The watchers.
Moses. You remember when Moses saw the burning bush?
Yeah.
He said at first he saw a light come towards him. And, that's deep. We cannot comprehend. It could be it's the spirit realm.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, there are stories in the Bible.
In the Old Testament, they talk about the watchers like flying around in some craft, or like Ezekiel seeing like a wheel with inside a wheel, that visitation from God on some kind of craft. You know what I mean? You think like God, why would God need a machine or a time or like any kind of machine to get around? You know what I mean? It's like time travel. You think you'll need a machine for it, but and is it possible? Like Arthur C. Clarke said that any sufficiently advanced technology is I can't say that word.
Indistinguishably?
Yeah, is indistinguishably blah, 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 from magic.
Damn, you butchered that.
Yeah, I fucked that shit up. Yeah. But, so we can't really understand stuff right now doesn't mean that it's not real. You know what I mean? Or whatever.
I mean, yeah. I mean, just because you don't, obviously the way I think of stuff is like the more we know about something is the more questions we have about it. So, it's, yeah, just because you don't understand and don't dismiss it, you can try to wrap your mind over a subject that you can't understand, but you will never have all the answers.
Yeah. But, we know, you and I know time travel is real, man. We be doing this shit every day. In and out. We're about that life. But, let's get the viewers something to look at, man. Let's try to convince them, time travel is real. You know what I mean? We got some evidence to show them. And I'm going to show you too, man. I don't know if you're familiar with this stuff, so.
Did you know too? Well, you already started.
No, go ahead, talk.
I was trying to talk briefly about astronomy. You know how the guy I just talked to, Neil Degrasse Tyson.
Yeah.
He said that astronomy, is the oldest of the natural sciences. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Did you really? Know that
Astronomy?
That's the oldest?
You got to think about it, dude. At a time when we didn't know anything and we didn't even have light or electricity, we just looked at the stars. And that's what we're missing nowadays.
Yeah. And then that's the earliest, the way they predicted by looking at the sun.
And that's how they tell time.
So back in the day, we say rotation of the earth. Back in those days, it was the way the sun rotated on the earth. You know how long it took for the earth.
Yeah.
So, but did you know that the earliest origins of Western astronomy can be found in Mesopotamia? Did you know that?
Samaria?
Mesopotamia.
Ancient Sumer. Yeah,
but
modern day Iraq.
The land between the rivers Tigris and Euphrates were the ancient kingdoms of Sumer, Assyria, and Babylonia.
Yeah, that area. Mm-hmm.
But check it out. These people they created a form of cuneiform writing.
Yeah.
Emerged among the Sumerians, the tablets. Mm-hmm. And this was 3,500 to 3,000 BC, before Christ.
They knew about planets.
Exactly.
And all that.
So a lot of people think of, we're so advanced. No, back in the days, they were smarter than now.
They were traveling back to and fro from those places, man. Just
and
like us.
The earliest Babylonian stars catalogs dating from about 12,000 BC. And it contains the early and continues to the early Bronze Age.
Yeah.
Right. But the first the Babylonians, by stating Venus, the rings. I didn't even know Venus had rings.
Oh shit!
But it took them the first evidence of astronomy and mathematics being used to predict astronomical phenomena is in Babylonia tablet, dating back to the old Babylonian period. Documented the application of the mathematics of the variation in the length of daylight over a solar year. And it says that they came up with the concept of the circle, 360 degrees.
Yeah.
And the hour, it takes 60 minutes in an hour. They began with the Babylonians and the Sumerians, that old.
Yeah.
And they also were the first planet, the Sumerians and the Babylonians in their tablets predicted that Venus was the first planet that the humanity ever studied. And they predicted in a time period of 21 years how the rings were formed. So Venus was the first planet that was ever documented through astrology, through the Sumerians and the Babylonians back in those ancient times, to in a form of time, like timekeeping.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
Either they just had a long stretch of period of time to figure that shit out.
Can you imagine?
They were time travelers.
No, can you imagine a lifetime of a human being studying this? Because it took a long time,
well,
21 years.
Dude, like I was talking about ancient aliens. Look at that plaque in South America, right? The Pakal, whatever. That plaque shows that one guy that's on a spaceship or something. Right. It could be a time machine. You know what I mean? You see little figurines throughout history too, with some kind of like hazard suit. You know what I mean? Like looks like what you call what astronauts wear, those suits and stuff. Astronaut suit, kind of basically.
Right.
Yeah, that's what they look like, bro. So what is all that? You could tell people were doing this kind of shit way back then.
Yeah, there were tablets. They wrote on tablets. You know, I don't know if you did you know about the Halley's Comet?
Yeah, I know of it.
Did you know that Babylonians, as we're talking about, they predicted it? they were already studying it back in those days. And Halley's Comet is the short period comet visible from Earth every 75 and 76 years.
Maybe
it goes on, but check it out.
Maybe that's a time machine.
Exactly.
Somebody's writing in that shit.
But you know what? The last time we saw Halley's Comet,
there's paintings of that stuff.
Last time Halley's Comet passed through Earth was in 1986, and it's due. It will appear in mid 2061. Where will we be at, Danny, in 2061? I don't think humanity will make it to 2061.
I will.
You think?
Yeah, I'm gonna live forever, bro.
Well, you better start freezing your body, bro. You chop your head off and freeze your brain.
And that's the way of time travel, man.
Yeah.
Freezing people. How do you think you travel light years in space? They're gonna have to put you. That's probably the real true form of time travel. You know what I mean? Like going back in the past. I don't know. Maybe unlikely.
Yeah,
but like to the future. You know what I mean? We probably could do that.
But isn't
shit.
that very interesting? What I just talked about.
No, it's
the
very
Babylonian
interesting. And how they knew that at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Babylonian tablet in the British Museum has recorded Halley's Comet 164 BC, before Christ.
That's what's up.
In a way, astronomy, and it's also in the Christianity, plays a big role. You can tell the future by studying heavenly bodies. They predicted that in the future, Danny. 164 BC, they knew that Halley's Comet was already circling the
and
Milky Way and all of that.
And so did Heaven's Gate, you know? That cult and stuff. They knew about that shit too. Those weird motherfuckers. Okay, we're going to get into it, man. We're going to talk about this. We're going to show some people how time travel is real. Okay, right here. What are you looking at, homie? What do you see?
Well, it looks kind of like a Greek carving.
It's a Greek statue.
It looks like a Greek goddess and a child.
Yeah, it's a Greek statue from 100 BC, bro. It's I think it's called Grave Nescos of.
Oh no, man, that's Venus. That's Venus.
Yeah, what?
That's the goddess Venus, isn't it?
No, I don't think so. I think it's
Remember, that was the first. The Venus was the first goddess.
I think it's what's her name? Delphi? Yeah, it's the Oracle of Delphi. Like, watch, legend has it that the Oracle of Delphi connected priests. She's the middleman, right? She connected priests with the supernatural beings who passed along advanced technology and information.
Wow.
So, time travelers, bro. Look at that. How didn't people know about time travel? How do we know about that? By watching TV, by seeing what's on the internet.
The mind, bro.
Or reading books, yeah.
The mind. The mind is the actual time machine.
Yeah. So check this out. Laptop, bro. Laptop. Look at the USB ports right there.
And this hasn't been tampered with Photoshop or nothing like that.
I don't think so. Other than those little red arrows showing where it's at. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what to make of it.
It could be a tablet. Back in those days, they were using stones to carve data.
Like we were talking about the cuneiform ones, right?
Yeah.
Okay, check this out.
This is like the Babylonian tablets.
All right, check this out.
What is that?
This is a Swiss watch, all right? Can you see? It's a Swiss watch, bro. And the reason why it's a Swiss watch, because I think it's written the word Swiss on it. And it's like the size of a ring, right? It stopped at 1006. I don't know why. But they found it in a tomb in China, I think in 2008. It's from the Ming Dynasty. And that tomb hasn't been excuse me. That tomb hasn't been open in 400 years. And they found it.
And this is this a watch made out of stone or what is it?
I guess it's made out of some kind of metal or whatever.
And it just happened to say Swiss.
Yeah.
I don't think it's real.
You don't think it's real?
No. Swiss, come on, it's too, what do you call it? It's too trying to explain, I don't believe it. I just leave it like that.
Bro, but we're time travelers. We know this shit is real. They don't know. We're trying to tell them how it works. But yeah, let's carry on. I feel you though. Okay,
I
this
believe
chick,
it till I see it. I am a scientist.
You know this chick,
I am
right?
Emmett L. Smith. I go by data and data only.
Yeah, okay. Well, Emmett Smith or Doc Brown, what's your name? Yeah.
Emmett L. Smith.
Doc Brown. Emmett L. Brown.
Emmett L. Brown. We're going to have to cut some
Confuse the fuck out of me. All right. Running backer. Hey, Look at this chick, bro. You know who this chick is?
I don't know who that
This is Greta Thunberg, bro. All right. She made a big fuss a few years back, right? But she is a time traveler. Check it out.
How so?
Well, look at this, bro. This is a picture back in the fucking, I don't know, bro. It's way back then. It's like medieval times or some shit. I don't know.
No, that shit, that's like the 1800s. We talk about Kansas back in the tumbleweeds.
Somewhere, bro. But look at her.
Tumbleweeds, bro.
Look at her, bro. Look at that. Tell me that's not the same person.
Danny, come on now.
Dude, time travel.
You know how many twins are there walking around? I've been told I even look like my brother. Come on now.
All right, man.
It's too, well, I guess she travels.
All right. This is another
It just happened to be looking like this girl over here. She just happened
You
to.
want to see another time traveler, bro? Nicolas Cage, bro. Look at that.
That's
a picture from like the 1800s. Tell me that's not the same dude.
Well, what's the actual person's name?
That's a good question. Maybe I could put it. I don't know, man. It's Nicolas Cage. What do you mean? That's who it is.
Well, damn, we gotta see where this motherfucker came from, because you know the Irish and shit. You know, what's it? The Irish that colonized.
Yeah.
Maybe he is. Irish.
He's a vampire, bro.
Or some shit.
He's a time traveling vampire.
He looks like him though.
Look at this.
Johnny Depp. Yeah, I see that resemblance.
Time travel, man.
I'm telling you that the lifeline. What is the DNA, bro?
Yeah.
There's something there. It's not it's coincidental that they look alike. It has to be a family resemblance.
Johnny Depp, man, he's Fear and Loathing in time and space.
Talk about Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Talking about pirates in space.
Yeah, look at this dude, right? We gotta talk about this dude. This guy's a time traveler for sure. Bill and Ted, bro. This is Ted. Keanu, look at this dude.
He looks
bro.
like an astronomer too.
Look at this, bro. Homeboy in 1994,
Keanu Reeves,
2008, 2011, and look at bro.
Dude, isn't it just me? But always Keanu Reeves has like this mystery about that dude. Like I always get that about that dude. Like
time traveler, bro. The knowledge he knows.
Yeah, like when you look at him, you think like, damn, this dude must know something we don't know.
He's a wise motherfucker.
Yeah,
man.
Like I always got that. He's a good actor too.
Like that whole portrayal of a surfer type of dude. It's just he's just acting.
Well, yeah, of course. And that's how just his testament of how good of an actor he can tap into.
For sure. All right, and I'm gonna show you some other evidence, bro. This shit's gonna get crazy now. Look at this. Are you familiar with this?
What are those?
This is the London hammer, also known as the London artifact. It was a hammer that they found, bro, and it's made out of iron and wood, and it was found in London, Texas in 1936.
You said London, Texas?
Yeah, London. I guess there's a place called London, Texas.
I did not even know.
I didn't know that either, man. But archaeologists found it, bro.
Paris, Texas.
And they say the hammer dates back to more than 400 million years, bro. Because, like, think about how do you, like, get that into stone like that? And the hammer itself turned out to be, check it out, bro. The hammer itself turned out to be more than 500 million years old. And additionally, a section of the handle has begun to transform into coal. The hammer's head, made of more than 96.6% iron, is far more pure than anything in nature could have achieved without the assistance of modern technology.
Okay, am I correct when you said it's more than 500 million years old? Is that what you just said? 400.
That's what it says. Yeah, that's what archaeologists said.
That would throw the whole periodic table of
look at that
elements and time out the window. Who was making that around 400 million years old? We did not even exist 400 million years old.
Whatever, man. Somebody needs some shit. They were trying to get something down.
Trying to change the way evolution worked, but that could be something from the Bronze Age.
They were probably building train tracks for them to...
It's probably from the Bronze Age.
Time travel. Yeah. I don't know. It's an interesting artifact, bro.
I don't think that's that old, though.
Dude.
Might be the most, probably 15,000 years old.
Check this out.
Is that Adidas, bro?
Adidas, bro. My Adidas. All day, man. All day. This is a Mongolian mummy.
Now I've seen
dating back. It's a woman dating back from more than 1,000 years ago, bro. Wearing Adidas, bro. Even in her time, she was.
Well, yeah, back in the Mayas, the tattooing.
Yeah.
Oh, but this is on an actual boot. Or what is that? A boot or a shoe she wears?
It's a shoe, man. It's Adidas shoe. Did you see it? Look, Adidas.
No, but it goes to her. Is it like boots? It goes all the way up. You see it?
I think that's just her pants, though. But like even in her time, bro, she was dreaming about sex all day.
Oh, okay. She obviously, damn, look like she's been rode hard too all that time. Look at her.
Yeah, man. She can get it. All right. Next one. Okay, this is what I was talking about earlier. Okay, dude. We're going to go deep. Okay, check this out. This is a 1928 film, Charlie Chaplin, right? It's the thing is called The Circus, and it shows a woman or a man, bro, holding a cell phone to their head and even talking to them, bro, as they're walking, right? See what you make of it, bro. See what you make of it.
I've never seen that. Oh,
check this out. 1928 film, a cell phone. Stops. Look closely. Stops. Chit chats.
It's not her hearing aid. No, they didn't invent hearing aids back in those days, did they?
Well, that's what they're trying to say. That's like some kind of device that they use to. But like, why are you gonna be talking in it? What, you're gonna be trying to hear yourself? Time travel, bro.
Beam me up back, Scotty.
Look close. One more time. I can't even make it out if it's like a dude or a lady or. It's definitely a time traveler.
Looks like a dude, bro. No, it has a hat, right, with the feather on there or some shit.
He gets talking, smiling. Ah.
Well, I'll tell you that the way he's, you know how you notice how people hold their phones and how they move. You know how they turn like that too.
Yeah.
It does look like someone that would be using a cell phone.
Okay, check this out, bro. This is another one. Check this out. This is a Mike Tyson fight. Mm-hmm. Mike Tyson versus Peter McNeely, 1995. A man in the crowd is holding and filming with a smartphone. Check it out, bro. What's your thoughts?
Oh, nah, dude. That's a camera sideways. Come on, dude, now you see it.
Like a smartphone, bro. Like the smartphone wasn't
No,
made
but
like
come on.
much
A
later.
camera, Danny, that is held upside down.
Dude, phones back then in 1995 were like bricks. They look like...
Right.
Yeah, there was no smartphone. Look at that.
That looks like a camera held sideways. It
Dude,
does.
look.
You see it? The lens is right there. That's what I think it is.
But we know what it really is. Because we're time travelers.
We are time travelers.
Yeah, dude.
We're trying to keep it confidential. Confidential.
We're trying
people.
to keep it real. That's what
keeping it real and confidential. We're not trying to give all our data away.
Look at this dude. Look at this hipster, bro. He's in the crowd. Look, tell me that guy does not belong there.
That dude, he looks out of place for real.
Definitely looks out of place.
Sore thumb.
Look, back then everyone wore hats. Mm-hmm. Look at this dude with some sunglasses.
I just hope none of these stuff is photoshopped because anything can be photoshopped.
He has a DSL camera in his hand. Mm-hmm. Dude, it looks totally out of place, man. That's a time traveler, bro.
It is.
It is, definitely.
It was one of my disciples.
Yeah. Check this out now. Okay, bro, we're going to get into some crazy shit. You want to see some real time travelers, bro? So, some so-called time travelers?
Then you're going backwards.
Yeah, no, I'm going for it now. Okay, this guy, homeboy. This guy, his name is Alexander Smith, and he comes from, or he went to the year 2118, and supposedly he worked for the CIA. I guess the CIA sent him there, bro. So he's coming back. I guess he has like proof. This is like a picture that he put out showing that like that's supposed to be like some skyscrapers and stuff. It looks like the land of Oz or whatever you call it.
This is from like the Never Ending Story.
Something.
Remember like those castles where
It's definitely a never ending story, bro. Everyone comes out
time travel.
Time travelers, yeah.
It's never ending.
It's never ending.
There's no conclusion to it.
Nope. And this guy, Noah, it's a kid, man. He claims to be, this is like a video that was circulating like a long time ago, bro. But a kid named Noah, he's from the year 2030. And I guess he took a lie detector test, and they were asking him a few questions about the future, and I guess he got a lot of them right. So, I don't know. I don't want to look into these videos, bro. We'll be here all day.
Did they ask him, are we finally getting the gravitational cars? Did they ask him that? Are we actually, from the 2030, are we actually going to have flying cars?
I don't know, man, but he did predict.
What?
I think he did predict Trump. Like this video is like old video.
Well, so did The Simpsons. You've seen that?
I think the Back to the Future, doesn't Trump come out? He's like a powerful dude in Back to the Future too.
No, I don't think. And I don't think he made a cameo.
No, I don't think it's a cameo, but I think that guy is trying to portray him.
Biff or Blip, wasn't he?
Yeah, Biff. Yeah. In the second,
well, he was a big casino roller. Like he owned the casinos. Wasn't like the big old like the big. He owned the buildings, the casinos. Yeah,
it's kind of trying ripping off a Trump kind of character. Yeah. Oh, but we're speaking of Trump. We're gonna get into Trump, bro. Trump himself is possibly a time traveler. The reason why, because he has an uncle, bro. He had an uncle, Uncle John Trump, who worked for the CIA supposedly, and I guess at the time they seized like the belongings of Tesla. You know Nikola Tesla. Nikola Tesla. Well,
Nikolai.
Whatever. Tesla. Okay, that dude.
After the electric car.
Yeah, that guy. Supposedly,
which looks futuristic.
He had a lot of inventions and stuff, right? And supposedly he had a time machine too. So when he passed, the government, the CIA seized his stuff. Supposedly one of the guys was Donald Trump's uncle, John Trump.
So right, he has the money. He has the means. Maybe he built a time machine, bro.
That looks like Trump right there on the side. It looks like some Roman emperor.
Yeah, well, you know all them inbred motherfuckers look good.
It does kind of look like that, huh?
Yeah. Well, they all got that goofy ass, long ass nose. Where the fuck am I at? Look.
Oh, man. Speaking about that, look at his son. I think him and his son are time travelers, bro. Look at this little dude. Look at that guy on the side. Yeah, There's a book. There's a book, bro. An old book called Baron Trump's Marvelous Underground Journey, right? And that book talks about...
They only come back for that women, bro.
What do you mean? They're like
time travelers. Trump and the family, the dudes, they come back for the women.
Like the Anunnaki, bro?
I don't know, but can you imagine back in the days, the women were butt ugly, so they come to the future to get that.
Well, that's why these fuckers look like that too.
Exactly. Look at this. They're time travelers. They get the in the future and they go back and forth.
Well, that book, bro. That book predicts like the Trump Tower. I think it talks about the last president. I guess either Trump's not the last president, but I mean, there's some things that's like kind of eerie about
all
it.
Jokes aside, there are some people that have predicted what the Holocaust and the Hiroshima bombings. There are some people you want to take a little bit more serious that you can do your research, Danny.
Yeah.
And there have been some people that actually have predicted those terrible happenings in history.
Yeah. Oh, sure, for sure, man. And look, you want me to tell you about some other projects that were going on, bro? The Montauk Project. Are you familiar with that? Are you familiar with the Montauk Project, bro?
Never heard of it.
It's like, have you heard of Stranger Things? This is kind of what they got the idea from. Well, this is a government project too. They were obviously dealing with time travel and all that shit, bro. So it's a lot. The government, the government's doing stuff. They're experimenting with this shit, bro. I'm sure, and that's what's kind of scary because at the powers that be, like, you don't want this type of technology in the wrong hands. You know what I mean? Look what they did supposedly back in the shit. I don't even know what time it was, but.
Keeping it confidential, bro.
Yeah, we'll just keep it limited on the source. But a top secret U.S. Navy experiment, the destroyer escort USS Eldridge. I guess they were trying to like hide this ship from enemies and stuff, and it's called the Philadelphia experiment, right? Or also known as the Project Rainbow. The U.S. military or Navy made this ship time travel. So.
That's supposed to be a battleship?
Imagine that, dude.
Is that a
time? Like your time machine is a ship, a battleship.
Well, yeah. That way, it makes sense if you want to save your descendants, your DNA, your family, your loved ones. You need a big, just like Noah's Ark.
Yeah, a ship, bro. That's what explains about all those ships going missing, like the Bermuda Triangle and shit like that.
Wow, better. Noah's Ark was a time traveling ship.
I could see that.
Yeah. Yeah. It saved all the animals and the humanity. It was like, they knew catastrophic, kind of like a ship coming from outer space. But in this point of view, in the old times, it was water that saved humanity.
Yeah.
And started, repopulating the earth after that,
Yeah.
It's always a large ship. It has to be.
Yeah. To carry a lot of people.
Exactly. And to carry all your belongings and everything. Remember, the Noah's Ark was 400 feet long.
That's true, man, because if I did have a time machine, I want to carry some stuff with me.
You don't want to go by yourself because if you're by yourself, it's not worth it.
Oh yeah, dude.
Take all your homies with you.
Yeah.
Take your dog with you.
Yeah. Or
Pimps and hoes. Everything.
Yeah. For sure. Make it a party. Why not, huh?
I'm telling you.
Yeah, and also, that's pretty much all the time travelers. I guess if you want to count Bill Gates and Dr. Fauci as time travelers. Because if you think about it, those two guys, man, they predicted this shit. They predicted this pandemic, this virus and everything years before it actually happened. Either,
it's been
maybe
happening.
maybe they were involved or something. Maybe they knew about it.
All of these diseases has been happening, dude, since the earliest of time. How do you think that the Vikings and all these Europeans wiped out civilizations when they came to the Americas? It's been happening. To talk about that.
But just to predict shit, bro. Like, to think about it. Like, Nostradamus, all these, like, prophets. Like,
well,
in that sense, too, you're like, it's like astral plane. You know what I mean? Like, astral projection. Like, you're, like, remote viewing. Like, you're getting outside of yourself. And maybe by doing so, you can actually see the future or something like that. I wonder if that's even possible.
It's through I believe you can time travel through your brain. I believe in the future there's going to be a device kind of like what we have right now, like the Oculus. You've seen all these kids with these headgear, right?
Yeah.
I feel like kind of like the X-Men. Have you seen the X-Men movies?
Yeah, man.
When Cerebro wears that helmet.
Yeah.
So I believe in the future is going to be through what? The mind, though. You're going to be set into like kind of a sleep. And the people that have that power or that gift, because there are some people out there, they'll be, put into a trance and the visions will project into the screen. I believe it has to be like a head device that will read our brain chemistry or our brain readings, because it runs through electricity and images. So it's going to be a device kind of like a headgear type thing, like Cerebro in X-Men, and then the images are going to be in a screen type.
Or even
thing.
like we're talking about Iron Man, like the song and stuff. Wouldn't it be cool for the time machine to be a suit like Iron Man? Like Marvel Iron Man, like just you could time travel just in a suit kind of thing. That'd be kind of cool too. That sense, like
kind of like Star Trek. You know how they have those suits that they can beam each other up.
Is it a suit? I think it's just a technology that beams.
Well, it's like a watch, but the suit plays into it.
Yeah.
Or kind of like a little, transmitter type thing.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, let me ask you one question too, man. Before we get up out of here, because we're about to be out of time. You know what I mean? Got to hit the road.
No pun intended. Time. There again, time is involved.
For
People,
reals.
we are running out of time.
Yeah. And I'm going to be taking a trip soon too. So I'm going to be going Banff to the future, visiting Banff, Canada.
So all the audience, hate to say it, but this might be my last appearance in Danny's podcast.
Yeah, man. I'd like to thank Mr. Dino Ryder for joining me on this adventure. It's been fun.
My followers, thank you for the people that listen to this. If there's any soul out there.
Yeah. But I got to tell you, man, there's one question. I was going to do this little game thing at the end, but now I'm just going to, because I asked you some of the questions earlier, but
it's been a long one. And then, this is the type of thing, it's like time. We never have enough of it.
Yeah. No, we don't. But it's an interesting question, bro. It's very... Okay. Maybe we could play a little bit of it. Let's play so I can ask you a question. The lesser of three evils. All right. You go back in time and you want to have a one-night stand.
Chicka bow bow.
Who would it be? Would it be A, Cleopatra and her poisonous snakes? Or would it be B, Elizabeth Bathory?
Who's that?
And in a bathtub full of guts and blood?
Oh, no.
No, Elizabeth Bathory was like this princess from way back then that was like a serial killer that killed a whole bunch of women and like supposedly
Why
bathed in their blood.
Why they gotta be so dark, bro? Damn.
Well, because it's lesser of three evils, dude.
It's you. Okay.
Yeah. That's the second one. Elizabeth Bathory in a bathtub full of blood and guts. Or Marilyn Monroe, but her corpse.
See, I knew there was a twist to it. And I have to choose. It has to be them.
Yeah, to choose one.
What was the first one with
Cleopatra?
With
the
snakes?
Egyptians, the Egyptian.
I know they were effing with jackals and snakes and
walk like
cobras
an Egyptian.
and cobras and shit.
So it's Cleopatra with her poisonous snakes, like, getting down with her in the bed, or Elizabeth Bathory in a bathtub full of blood and guts, or Marilyn Monroe, but her corpse.
Obviously not that. Come on. Dude, come on. You got to be sick for even contemplating that. The one after that, the one before.
Even coming up with the game.
Yeah. You got to be sick on that. But no, not Marilyn, the hoe. Not that one. Not the one with the, you said with the blood in the bathtub?
Yeah.
No.
So you're going to go for Cleopatra and the snakes?
Yes, because I can wrestle some damn snakes or kick some damn snakes out the bed and trying to get a quickie. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, bro. And then you go, you're getting the best of both worlds, bro. You got reptiles like dinosaurs. They're related to dinosaurs or whatever.
Maybe I can talk reptile to them and calm them down.
And then you get Cleopatra. I heard she was...
she had that body, I heard.
I heard too,
Yeah.
All right, that was one question. Okay, bro. You were to go back in time, right? But you're not trying to see yourself. You're not trying to cause this like ripple in time, this paradox, right? So you want to avoid yourself, but you run into yourself, your younger self. What would you do? A, beat yourself up, you know what I mean? But you got to be careful. It's a younger
what
you.
Time
it's in
are
your
we
prime.
talking about?
You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Like 10 years ago, your prime, right? So you gotta be careful.
Probably at 31.
Because that Dino Rider probably will fuck up the Dino Rider today. So you gotta think about it.
Well, I could say I haven't changed that much. Maybe just the age thing.
So would you beat yourself up?
No.
Or would you set yourself up for an unfortunate series of events? You know what I mean? Like you give them something, but something bad happens. Like you could try to set them up, but
no.
Nah. Or would you jack yourself off?
In front of myself, that's pretty sick too.
That's not gay because it's you, bro. It's you. It's actually you.
But
so
damn, I don't find I can picture other people finding me attractive, but me, I'll say I'm average, but I don't turn myself on like that in front of the mirror. That's probably something you do
all the time, bro.
Oh shit, well that's TMI, bro. That's you.
Yeah, no, I'm just joking. Hey,
now I would probably to keep it like that. Like I'll be like, I'll probably be like, dude, we haven't changed that much, but I would just try to get out that situation. It would freak me the hell up, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I'd be like, keep your head up, bro.
All right, man. Yeah, that's it, man. We'll just wrap it up. But hey, yeah, like I said, thank you for coming on. Thank you for being a part of this. Any thoughts on this whole trip that we've been on?
This has been another one, people, and then, like I said, it's like I said before, and like Einstein said, time is an illusion. It all is an illusion because we can, as a person, I believe, Danny, and to end this obvious, like your mind is the best thing we have as a time machine.
Yes,
especially me, the way I am. I can think of aspiring to be a paleontologist in my dreams. I have dreamed that I was with dinosaurs. In a way, I went back in time. I live in the future in my present state. And in dreams, in occasions, I sometimes dream that events in the future, and they have come true. So in a way, me personally, my experiences is the mind, my friend. The mind is the closest thing we have to a time machine. And I'm telling you, in the future, I believe there's going to be a device that will read your dreams and put them in a screen in some type of way. And there are going to be some gifted people that will send out images through technology. Like Hawkins said, not at the moment, but with technology, there's always hope in technology when you do it the right way, people.
That's word up, man. Well, like I said, we got to get out of here. We're out of time.
I got stuff to do. I got my hair to cut. So it's been nice, Danny. I appreciate you. It's always fun to do these projects.
Yep.
Yo, ding dong. We're done here. Time to go.
Love me. Conspiracy.